Hello, welcome to the Update Aftermarket Wall Street Report with Vegas and Jim. Hello, Vegas.
Hi everyone. Hey Jim, how's it going?
And great, great, great,
All
great.
right.
What a great week last week
Oh
with
my
all
God.
them runners.
It was a crazy
I
day.
mean,
It's on Friday
I
and the
noticed the
closing.
volume. Yeah, I noticed the volume's picking up better in the market, so I think it's clean sailing here on the way out till Christmas.
Well, I hope it just continues. I'm really happy it's picking up and I was really happy with yesterday. And let's start off by talking about SYN,
Yes,
synthetic biologics. So, just for those of you that don't really know, I just want to give a quick little history. So, this stock had a reverse split, and that took effect on August the 10th. So, the trading started with the new float of 3.799 million the morning of August 13th. So, what happened is the shareholders that had shares of SYN actually got one for every 35 they had. And so that helped to bring the share price so that it could remain on NASDAQ and not get delisted. In a way, I actually kind of like that it did a reverse split because it lowered the float big time. I mean, this was 132 million float, and now it's, under 4 million, as I mentioned. And furthermore, SYN is currently having two products in a phase 2 testing. They got SYN 004 and SYN 010. And let me tell you, a lot of people really have given up on this company. Me personally, I have not. I have actually a core position on this. And what I'm looking for down the road with this company, and again, everyone has different opinions when trying to hold stocks through data, and you can get burned. Let me tell you, we've seen it happen earlier this week with another stock. But what I'm looking for in SYN is I really am looking for them to announce some sort of partnership. And, I think now that the float is really small, it's actually a lot more attractive. So I'm going to turn it over to Jim to actually talk about the chart and how the stock started to run, what triggered it, because remember, there was no news on the stock. Right, Jim?
yeah. I think the popularity, or something happened. Something triggered the slow float stock, and right out of the gate, we realized that we had us a good stock to play all day long. And I didn't think it was going to turn out this well. So I used my U Stock Challenge account and I was flipping it in and out all the way up. I mean, it's just beautiful trade, and it ran from 246 all the way up to $8. Well, when it got up to my they have what you call as I call it a silver cross, but that's when the 50-day starts to move down over the 200-day SMA. It triggers a sell-off. So right there when it was at 660, I was telling the room, I said, get out. Time to get out. And I was yelling it out loud. I mean, because I've seen it coming. I've seen the sell-off coming. And it was a harsh sell-off, and then it hugged that 50-day all the way down. And you can see where the golden cross here is where I'm pointing at right here. And that's a great indicator. And these are one of my two favorite tools that I use as a day trader. And I also use these two moving averages on a yearly chart to find a resistance. And so on the way up, I was drawing these resistance lines, these support lines, and then so we're going to come in here Monday. It started to bounce up. I think it's going to bounce up some more and correct itself. I'd like to see it get to 350 at least. If the momentum picks up, I want to see another golden cross. I want to see it 50 bounce up above that 200 SMA. But I'm now this is one of my favorite rules. Is when I see a runner like this, I'm going to hold on to it and watch it, because there's going to be people stuck in this stock in the sell-off, and they're going to let it consolidate a little bit, and then we're going to start rebounding up a little bit, and that's truly because it's a low float, and as all the things that Vegas suggested said when she spoke. So that's SYN. Keep it on watch.
Yeah, keep it on watch. And I know Jim talked about, I'd like to see this continue Monday, as Jim said. I'd like to see it go over the three for sure and continue, probably go to 350. If it can still continue and break, because the 50-day here I see here at 359. So if it goes over
Exactly.
359, we may actually see maybe the $4 range, and then if it breaks 411, we may see that $5 again. So I'm not saying this is happening. We're just saying keep it on watch. Watch for these levels we've just talked about. Write them down. I like to write down my levels of support and resistance when I'm trading so that I don't have to keep looking at the charts and finding them. I do look at it in real time, but it's good to keep it written down because it gives you that visual as well.
Yeah, and when you
So,
see when you see these consolidation periods like between 355 and 391, if it's nice, it'd be nice to get up there and play that channel up in there and then break out of that channel. So that's kind of like a support channel right there. And you
yeah.
got two of them. So we need to break that $3 come Monday.
All right. So next one we're going to talk about again because we've
Oh,
talked about
yes.
this one a lot, but we got to talk about it again because
Oh,
guess what, guys? This is probably looking for continuation again.
ching
And
ching.
if you guys look at the weekly, I mean the information's right at your fingertips. So on IGC, so that one there, Jim, why don't you talk about the chart, and then I want to make a comment about what I've noticed in IGC, and I specifically am going to talk about after you're done talking about the chart. I'm going to talk specifically about the volume bars and the volume that's happened over the last week and a half.
Yeah.
And I'm going to explain something to you guys that I think is important for you guys to understand.
And that's
So
it.
I'll turn it over to you about the charts, but then I'm going to talk about the volume for a moment after you're done.
Yes, and that same thing happened with the stock we just spoke about, SYN. So when she speaks about the volume, compare the two because they both had share rotation. So IGC, we called this baby 10 days ago at 103. I said strong buy. I said get in this thing and at least take it to 130. Well, she went up to 130 and she started catching momentum. And every day after that, we've mentioned it about every day. We've played this stock every day in a 10-day period. So I'm looking at a resistance level right now. I'm going to draw this trend line for you because this is where I think the resistance for come Monday will be right around 690. So we're going to have a pullback, and we're going to have a small pullback. It can pull back to somewhere to around 573, maybe 548. But any pullback on this stock, it's granted to bounce back up. We've had just a beautiful run from this thing from 103 up to 748, and Vegas and I do believe it can continue on up. It's we've got momentum. We just like to play it smart. I'm going to be patient with it. I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to look for that little bitty pullback, and I'm going to get in and start flipping it. I'm not going to hold it overnight. I'm just going to be flipping it. That's from here on out the way I'm going to play it, and that's IGC. Vegas?
Yes, I just want to comment on IGC. So I was looking at, one of the things I love doing usually at night when I review charts, because I do love looking at charts. I just love stocks so much. But I was reviewing late last night, believe it or not, around 11:30 at night. I was reviewing the block trades on IGC, and what I did notice at around 3:11 p.m. There were two different blocks made, one for 55,500 and then another one for 74,100. One of them paid 550 a share, and then the other one paid 554. So that is a good sign that they're still buying those sizes. Now, what I want to point out there is that there was some nice accumulation on the stock. If you go prior to September, the stock was under accumulation, and then obviously the stock started to run really hard in mid-September. But what happened, if you noticed after that, is the volume dried up a little for a couple days. And the reason it did that, you wonder, why is it drying off? Nobody wants it anymore. The stock's, done. Well, the volume dried up because there's two things that speak loudly to me. One of them is the shakeout, the FOMO traders, because it reduces the price by getting them out. And what happens is it brings the price back into a Fibonacci level because nothing just goes straight up. So it becomes very attractive for the market makers really to add them to the position. And it shows what I'm going to tell you, what stands out to me the most is it actually shows that they've added a lot more than when they did the original time. So if you notice the green volume bars on the daily, if you compare them week over week, you'll notice that yesterday's volume was the highest for the whole month. So that is showing extreme confidence in the stock. So definitely what Jim said, one to watch and one to probably see a continuation on.
Yes, and on this chart that I just was drawing up here as Vegas was speaking about it, again, I want to point out the two moving averages. We got the 50 and the 200 is the gold one. And as that green one comes down, you got the sell off. And as the 50-day average starts to move up over the 200, you got the buy. So these are two tools that I use a lot. These are one of my favorite moving averages, and I just, for any beginner, these are the two you want to use. Use it on a daily 1 minute. Okay, next. This is one that Vegas wants to talk about. This is a new one to me, and I actually am liking it. Vegas, LBUY.
Yeah, so LBUY stands for LBUY Technologies. This company is a leading cannabis technology platform. And what I like about the company actually is that they've had a lot of growth of over 375%. And what they do is this company is, I guess you can kind of, let's just compare it to an online source. So let's just say Amazon. And this company is like an Amazon style where they are an online source for cannabis deals and information. So what they do is this company will work alongside other cannabis companies that have products. And what they do is they help those businesses showcase their products and help them build a network of loyal customers. So they actually provide tools, marketing tools to the companies. And then what happens is it gets uplisted on their platform, and they in turn can help showcase those, cannabis companies. Now, what I like about the company even more is if you guys were to take a look at the company online or go into their actual website,
I'm posting it right now.
Okay, which is called leafbuyer.com, you can actually see that they have had not only explosive traffic to their website, but they've had record months and they've also had a lot of development. They've also acquired mobile ordering app. They've actually acquired a company not too long ago called Greenlight Technologies, which is a real-time mobile ordering. I mean, honestly, I've never heard of this, but I gotta say, I never imagined in a million that you can order marijuana on your phone. Like that is just so cool. So they're gonna allow mobile ordering through this platform called California Greenlight Technologies. And what they're gonna do is you basically order your, I guess, cannabis product, and then I guess you go to the dispensary and you've already paid for it. You just go there and pick it up. So that is going to be really, really, really a cool feature. And this will be a new addition to the overall platform. And this will actually help enhance and grow, I guess, the distribution in the cannabis space. So not only that, but Greenlight, which is the technology they're going to be using, gives loyalty rewards and to the customers that use it. So this is going to be really popular. I'm going to start using it, like I said, in California. So I'm really impressed with this LBUY Technologies because even now they announced that they're going to also have some blockchain technology and they're going to go to market as soon as December. So they did run very nicely yesterday. I'm going to just let maybe Jim talk about the chart, but the volume was just really good. Over 5.5 million shares traded on this OTC pink stock.
Yabba dabba do. Now, as I was posting that website up there, you can type in what city you're from, and it'll tell you where the dispensaries are in your town. I mean, it really interests me. This website does. So I'm gonna add it to my watch list Monday. We've had a 4 good day breakout. It broke out on the 5th day, started to bounce up, consolidated a little bit that day. You know, people were checking it out and started getting into it. And then we had the great run there. It broke out again on Thursday. And then we ran up Friday all the way up to about 240, hit a resistance right there about 225. So and this is what I'm telling people, man. When you get a stock that runs like this, you find that resistance, you find that area of consolidation, and sell it. Get back in it on a dip. Because they always, what goes up comes back down, just like gravity in a basketball when you bounce a basketball. But then they tighten up, and then you're going to have another breakout. So we found support right now here on this stock at 185. And I'm going to be looking at that as my first support. Now, if it dips below there, I've got two places that I want to try to catch it at. It's going to be a 150. It's going to be right here around 147, 150. And I'm going to, and if the volume's there and the momentum's there, I'm going to be getting in it. But I'm not the kind of guy that likes to jump in a stock. I like to let the market come to me. So I'm going to be watching this stock definitely come Monday. I like the company. I like the website. I like the idea. And maybe it could be another Amazon. It's an OTC stock, and we're bringing you some OTC stocks because we're in the now. And when I say in the now, we know that the sector's hot. And that's something that I try to get through my traders. You want to be in the now. You want to know what's moving, what sectors are moving. We're getting into the Christmas season. Harvest time's coming. So let's keep an eye on Leaf Buyer. It's LBUY.
Yeah, and as we know, it's OTC, and some of you are like, oh, I don't really like OTC stocks. Don't forget, there's a lot of American stocks like ACBFF. I mean, that one's getting uplisted to the NYSE. And also, not too long ago, TLRY or Canopy Growth was on OTC platforms, and those have transitioned over. So you see the tremendous growth that has happened when they've transitioned over to a totally different, obviously market. So, don't discount the trade or the company just because it's on OTC.
Okay.
That's okay.
Well,
and let's see here.
NBEV.
Next one, NBEV. Okay.
I know you're probably getting tired of us talking about this stock, but I mean, we called it out again Thursday in our video. We said it's ready to bounce right down there at 404. And by gosh, if it didn't bounce and had one of the best runs it's had since this thing's broke out. Not since it's broke out, but it was in recovery mode. We ran all the way up to that resistance of 589. Now, I want you to know these yellow lines here are extended trend lines from the previous runs that it's had. And a lot of times they hit them old resistances. And then they pull back to the old supports. So we're excited about this again. I'd like to see it pull back to about 521. And a strong buy is going to be right here where this red line is at 507. Anything below that, I'd start to, consider a real strong buy if the momentum's there. But NBEV, I've been excited about from day one. Let's see how long this thing's ran. Let's put 20 days up here. Look at that. And this was a beautiful run we called, and we called it for 3 or 4 days in a row. And then I started yelling, and I'm kind of doing the same thing about IGC. I'm feeling that we've hit a resistance, and we're going to pull back a little bit, but the sucker's going to bounce right back up. So keep NBEV on watch. Keep it on your top 20 watch list, and if you get tired of it, take it off. But if you want to make money, play these pullbacks. And Vegas, what do you think?
And just a comment on it was actually flagging really nicely on the hourly chart. So you should be watching this for potential breakout as well. If it goes over like 570s, just keep it on watch.
Yeah, and I want to bring one other thing up. I called this thing out, NBEV. I said, where you just hit the 200 SMA, and I got this circle right here. And you can see where it touched that 200, and this is a momentum stock. So it didn't give up. Once it hit that 200, it started bouncing up. I noticed the momentum. I noticed it was a good buy. We consolidated a little bit. Then we had another breakout. Well, we have two issues right here. It started to sell off. I noticed the 50 started moving down, and I had a red line that I drew from this dip that we had previously off that bounce. And I told people in the room, I said, if you didn't get in it now, don't chase it. Let it come back to that 507. We touched at 507, and then we end up at after hours at 587. That's a 80-cent bounce in less than an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So keep them moving averages on your in your arsenal. Those 50 and the 200, and for the beginners in a way. And let's get a pullback, a healthy one. Let's try to get to 519. If not, we'll try that 507. And that's on NBEV. And I'm confident
Okay.
with this trade.
Always confident, Jim.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Last one here is
oh, we got another one.
OGEN.
OGEN. Oh, we skipped OGEN, didn't we? I'm sorry about that.
Well, you threw me for a loop there.
Yes, I did.
Pay attention.
Spank.
So, OGEN. Jim's crazy. So, OGEN stands for Orogenics. And I just got to let you guys know, this had a really good run yesterday. Now, what's interesting with this actual company here is that they actually are going to be doing two presentations, two investor conferences in New York City. And so we might see some action where there's going to be obviously buyers coming in anticipation for who knows what they're going to talk about at the conferences. Also, there is resistance, just so you know, if you're not in the trade and you're going to look into getting in it, there is resistance at $1.30. So keep that in mind if you're going to look into trading the stock. Closed at after hours here, what, at 118?
Yep.
So I have a position this one here. I got in, although we did alert this actually around 83 cents and again at 91. I never got in until 107 because I was just so focused on SYN. So I finally did get into OGEN and I got in at 107. It ran to 115, pulled back, but had a really strong close. So I am looking for this stock to potentially have some form of a rally a little because of the, presentations that are coming up. Usually when a stock company has presentations going on, it does create a bit of a positive vibe in the stock. So I think, short term, this could have some sort of movement come on Monday, Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday. But again, reminder, there is resistance there at $1.30. So we would need to see that break in order to see this go a lot higher. And if it did break, I guess what I'm going to be looking for is at least next $1.50 after that. And then we could reassess it from there.
I've got a lot of history with this stock here, and I've made some little bit of money on it, and I've also lost money on it. I noticed that the pattern of it, and this is before it started in my mind, started getting more bullish. It used to be just a kind of a pump and dump. People would get in it, take the run on a low float stock, and then sell it off. And it kind of still showed that on not the run that we had Friday, but the run we had previously on Monday. It ran all the way up to $1.10, $1.14, and pulled back and sold off after hours. Nobody, so you still use caution with this trade, but the momentum's picking up on it, I do believe. And I think any not healthy pullback, but any small pullback, I'm going to try to think that we're going to get a pullback to 105, and that's going to be my solid support here at 105. You see that was a previous high back there on Monday. So yeah. I'm not in it, but I'm going to be watching it. I missed out on this trade, but man, we had so many good trades last week. I focused just on one trade at a time, and that's just the way I trade. Other people trade different. And
yeah, I mean, I trade so many at once.
Yeah, we're just.
Sometimes I like to. Sometimes it gets too crazy, so I actually try to focus on maybe like 3 at the most at one time because I've traded sometimes a few more, and you lose your focus. So I usually try to just trade 3 at one time during the day, and even though I share ideas, that doesn't mean I'm always in all of them because I can't. It's just too hectic.
But I wanted to point out one more thing on here. This stock loves to touch that 200 SMA. And I'm going to pull this daily 1-minute chart up. And we did that Friday. Every time it touched that 200 SMA, it bounced up. See? Every time it hit that 200 SMA, it bounced up. It did that twice. So we had plenty of time to get in and out of this stock come Friday. So I'm keeping OGEN on watch. I think I can make a little bit of dough on this, and that's the way it's going to be. In Vegas, this is it.
Yeah.
We're signing. Got a few things we want to say.
Well, I just want to basically wrap up. We've had a summary of what happened on Friday. And, Jim and I had some discussions. So we're going to have a new YouTube channel that we're going to come up with. And it's just in the works right now. We hope to introduce it to everyone by next week. Probably on Monday, it'll be ready to go. We just have to iron out just a few small things. But we're going to have a new channel. We're going to call it I Love Stocks. And we love stocks. That's why we're going to have a new channel. And we love talking about it. We love everything and anything to do with stocks. We love talking to the traders. We love hearing from everybody. And really, it's because we're just so passionate about helping people, learning and sharing of ideas openly and transparently. And that's why you guys are really important to us, because we love hearing you feedback, and that's why usually I love to know, if you guys have any questions about a chart that we don't even talk about, if you could let us know the day before what chart you're interested in us viewing, we'd be happy to do that. And, Jim and I will probably do some other sessions, maybe on live, on videos from the viewers, and basically looking at charts that you want to learn more about or us talk about. So we'll definitely do that too. So again, we look forward to you following us and your support. And if we can do anything for you guys, please tell us, because really our mission is really just to help the trading community. And that's why we decided to collaborate together and go into a new channel called I Love Stocks. So we'll be providing that link shortly. And for now, we can continue and follow Jim's channel, but we will be transitioning over to our new channel very soon.
Yep. And, apologize for this lengthy video, but we do love stocks and we do care about anybody that's around us. And we do have some pretty good friends that we've met along the way on Stock Twits, on Twitter, and in other chat rooms that respect us highly. And we just want to go ahead and close out with that. We want to keep it fresh, keep it simple, keep it clean. Follow the links below. Vegas1 is on Stock Twits. Vegas1, you can find her there. I'll also put the link, or not the link, but the name in the title box where you can look it up on Stock Twits. And we just want to wish everybody a great day. And this is the aftermarket report with Vegas and Jim.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day. Talk to you guys on Monday.